Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing a cooking video. Today I'm going to be making some chicken dressing. Now, I didn't want to wait till the holidays for my dressing, so I'm going to do mine today. So I'm using chicken today. These are skin on, bone in chicken breasts. Now after I roast these, I will be taking obviously the chicken off the bone and taking the skin off. But I like to roast it with chicken with bone in and skin on because you get more flavor, and also it's more tender and juicy when you cook it bone in and then just take the bone off the chicken. I'm going to see now, before I even do that, I want to tell you, you don't have to use chicken for this recipe. You can use turkey. You can even use seafood. People make seafood dressing all the time. You can use shrimp. You can also use a lobster, but we're going to be using chicken for this recipe. And I'm going to season this chicken up very, very simply, you guys. I'm just going to be using some black pepper, some of this Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning, onion powder, and garlic powder. And the only seasoning I'm using with salt is this Cavender's Greek seasoning. Once you use this, you really don't need any other seasoning that contains salt. So I'm going to go ahead, season up these beautiful chicken breasts, and I'll be right back. Okay, so my chicken breasts are all seasoned. I just put them on a sheet pan with some aluminum foil. I also drizzled them, as you can see, with some olive oil, again, just to help with that moisture and flavor. So I'm gonna put them in my oven at 350. I'll probably cook them for about an hour, and I will pull them out and show you guys what they look like. Alrighty, you guys, so while my chicken is in the oven roasting, I'm gonna go ahead and get my water going for my chicken broth. So in this pot of water, I have a half a stick of butter. I might add more because you want that nice, rich, buttery flavor in your dressing. I also have some chicken bouillon that I have in the bottom of that pot. And that is just simply this better than bouillon chicken, roasted chicken base. And I'm going to use that in my water because I don't have any chicken broth. But this will make your chicken broth for you. Now, if you don't have chicken broth, or if you do not have this, guys, you can just use water. That's perfectly fine. I just like to use broth and a base just to give it that nice, rich, hearty chicken flavor. That's what's going to give your dressing its flavor. But again, you can just use water if that's all you have. Okay, so I'm going to let this warm up. I'm not going to let it doesn't need to boil. I just need it to be warm. And to let that chicken broth in the bottom there kind of melt in with the water so we can make a nice broth. I am going to season this water with some parsley and probably some, just some parsley, probably, just some nice parsley. And if you have like an Italian seasoning, you can also use that as well. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get this water ready and check on our chicken, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what my chicken broth is looking like after I let that chicken base melt down in the water. And the butter still is there. It has not quite melted down yet, but the butter is there. And I just added some parsley and some basil to my broth. And that's pretty much it, guys. Just let this stay warm on your stove until, you know, you're ready to use it. Okay, guys, so in your dressing, you want to use some type of vegetable. So we're using some celery. We're going to be using some green pepper, and we're going to be using some onion as well. And also with the celery, guys, what I learned, and I learned it off the Food Network or from Miss Rachel Ray herself, is that you want to use the celery leaves. Don't throw these away. This has such delicious flavor. So you want to cut these up really fine, and you want to use these. Some people throw them away. I use them, and y'all, these smell so, so good. So you want to just make sure that you use that. All right, so we're going to start by cutting up our green bell pepper, and you can use whatever combination of, you know, veggies you want. The one thing about dressing, or if you want to call it stuffing or anything like that, is that it's very, very versatile. Like, everybody has their own way of making dressing or stuffing. So whatever way you want to use it, I'm just showing you how I do mine. And it's not even Thanksgiving yet. It's the beginning of November. But I just wanted some chicken dressing. I really did. So I'm going to make that. So I've cleaned out my green bell pepper. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just slice them. And I'm going to chop them up, you know, really kind of fine. And I'm gonna cook them, or saute them rather, in just some butter, okay? Again, you can do any combination of veggies you want. These are those celery leaves. I'm also going to go ahead and chop those up right in there because, again, it gives your food lots of flavor. So I'm just going to go ahead and chop up all of these veggies. This is my onion. That's my green bell pepper. Now I have my onion here. And I'm just going to chop up. Like I said, really fine. How big or how small you want them in your dressing is completely up to you. I like my veggies a little fine. Yeah, so again, that's up to you. However big or small you like, and any combination that you like them in. Again, dressing is a very personal thing, I know. Some people like oyster dressing, some people like, you know, they put turkey in there. I've never had oyster dressing before. I'm not a big fan of oysters, but some people are, and that's fine. You know, to each his own, right? I'm just going to go ahead and finish chopping up all of the rest of these veggies. I'm going to get them sauteing in my pan, and I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, guys, so I have some butter and olive oil in this pan that's hot, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop my veggies in. Alrighty, so our chicken is done. It is completely done. It's been in the oven for about an hour. And I'm just going to let it rest so I can debone it and take that skin off. But it smells absolutely delicious. And over here, guys, I do have our veggies. They are still going. The only thing in here, I just added some salt and pepper to our veggies, and that's it. Not too much salt, guys. And they're going. And to this veggie mixture, y'all, I'm going to be adding some of this cream of chicken with herbs. This is going to help your dressing stay very, very moist. You don't have to add it if you don't have it, but I would highly suggest you add some of this to your dressing. You can also add cream of mushroom. I've used that as well, and it still tastes delicious. So if you have cream of mushroom, use that as well. So yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get all this stuff mixed up, get this chicken deboned, and I'm going to show you the dressing after it's all mixed up. All right, guys, I'll see you back here in a second. Okay, you guys, so I have cut up and deboned those chicken breasts. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put them in my dressing. As you can see, I've already started adding it to the dressing. I'm going to go ahead, add it to the dressing, and get my vegetables and broth in, and I'll mix it all up, and then I'll show you what it looks like before I put it in the oven. Alrighty, you guys, so our dressing is all mixed up, and this is what she's looking like. I added plenty of broth to the dressing, and when you're mixing your dressing up, guys, make sure you get under the bottom of your dressing. You don't want dry spots in your dressing. And yes, I did add extra pats of butter because you need it. You need butter in your dressing. It adds to the flavor and it adds to the moistness. There's one thing you don't want. You don't want dry, flavorless dressing. You want flavorful, moist dressing. And butter adds to that. So for me, you can never have too much butter. So I'm going to cover her up. I'm going to put her in the oven for about an hour. And when she gets done, I'm going to plate her up. And I'm going to show you what she looks like. All right, you guys, I took our chicken dressing out of the oven. And this is the result. It is so bubbly and so brown. And it looks amazing. After it cools down a bit, I'm going to cut into it. I'm going to show you what it looks like.